Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Daytona International Speedway. My name is Ryan Wayne, and I will be the commentator here for tonight's events. We have 3 races on the docket, and it's going to be the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series night, and it's going to be 100 total laps across 3 races to celebrate 100 subscribers on the Speed Demon Racing Network YouTube channel. Qualifying is currently underway so far, and we'll take a look here to see who will set the fastest time. Take a look at some of the drivers currently on track. We here have the number 51. That is Cody Wally. No one has set the fast lap yet here, as we are 2 minutes into this qualifying session. And as I say that, Derek Skladell works his way to the top of the chart. You see him right there in the number 3 Registics, I think that's how you say it. But yeah, these times continually changing. Now we've got Grant Ventress and that Dr. Pepper Chevrolet to the top. Jaden Hall. First time we've seen Jaden Hall in a long time here in Rebel Valley. See him right there, the number 8 Brisk Chevrolet. Currently P1 at a 50.332. 20 laps tonight for these drivers to navigate around this 2.5-mile super speedway. Ron Shearer in that number 128 has worked his way up to P3. Ryan Freeman has also worked his way up. That number 28 car up to 3rd place. 19 drivers have posted a time here so far. You see all the way back to the number 7 of Daniel Lank. There's David Hamrick in the number 32, as Derek Skladell works his way to the top of the charts at a 30.25. And now Austin's Saley to the top. Josh Kenyon now to the top of the charts. That's a jump scare if I've ever seen one, as he that was a great view of that number 1 going airborne in that turn 1 fence, infield fence there. See Cameron Face flipping violently right there as well. See Motorsports entry. There's Nathan McLaughlin. He was the Mazda winner with the Mazdas at IndyCar last week. One of the craziest finishes in speed on the channel all time. Daniel Mosteller currently on lap number 1. Tristan Perrine has worked his way up to 21st. Brian Post there in the 64, 6th place. Not going to comment on that any further. And now Marty Schmela to the top at a 50.16. That's a brand new sponsor on that number 8 machine. Unfortunately, it just cut away before I could get a good view of what that sponsor was, but Marty Schmela on pole here so far. We also have Arnold Farmer as well. Also driving number 1. And now new man to the top. How about Vinny Maestas? And now Ken Dorian Davis, 50.12. This is a driver that has vastly improved since his beginning here in Rebel Valley. And what a lap. 50.121 for the driver of the number 1. Daniel Mosteller works his way up to 7th place. There's Patrick Connell in the 44. He's now 24th. This is going to be the end of qualifying. A large turnout here for race number 1. Glad for you guys to be able to join in. Discord link in the top right corner of the screen for updates on future races and whatnot. And we're going to go ahead and transition over into our full session here. Green flag will start in about 2 to 3 minutes. So while we wait for the field to grid up here on pit road, let's take a look at our starting grid. It's going to be Ken Dorian Davis and Vinny Maestas on the front row here for race number 1 tonight. In row 2, we have Marty Schmela and Josh Kenyon. Great qualifying effort for Wyatt Blair in P5, number 5, and Nathan McLaughlin in 6th. Daniel Mosteller 7th, Cameron Face will round out our top 8. And then David Hamrick and Austin Saley rounds out our top 10. Brian Post in 64 and Nolan Crane in the 00. And you have Cody Wally and Brandon Meffert, 13th and 14th. Grant Fentress and Derek Skladell, 15th and 16th. Ronald Shearer and Larry Eddy. Rounding our top 20, we have Tristan Perrine and Ryan Freeman. If you take a look at the rest of the starting grid that is rolling across here on the bottom of your screen. We have a very large turnout here tonight. It was 38 max allowed entries, which is the number of max allowed entries in the real life O'Reilly Auto Parts series, so wanted to keep true to that. Mateo Mitchell will be our admin in the sky tonight, so ignore him. So that lineup will be adjusted a little bit. And that is going to be our field tonight here at Daytona. Let's take a look at our race analysis here tonight. It's just going to be 20 laps. Again, in Rebel Valley rules, there's only 1 set of tires laying around in the pits, and there are 0 fast pairs. I repeat, there are 0 faster pairs for these drivers to work with. You got to be careful. These 20 laps. 20 laps, 50 miles. Also take a look at the weather. 81 degrees. I believe this was set at a 7:30 p.m. start time. Partly cloudy skies. Should be a fun night for race number 1. Ken Dorian Davis will be leading us down here to the green flag. The newcomer here in Rebel Valley, that is Vinny Maestas in that number 70. Menard Chevrolet. I believe that's a throwback to Brandon Jones's car during his time with Junior Motorsports. We currently have 32 cars on the racetrack. Ready to rock and roll here for race number 1. Last Super Speedway race that was ran was iRacing Super Speedway last week with the Gen 6 cars. Marty Schmela, the driver you see right there, the number 8, was able to come away with the victory. It was a controversial finish, according to some people. That race had a faster pair set. And he was able to take advantage of getting a crash and then coming away with the victory in the final 2 laps. See if he can go back-to-back here on the super speedways, or will we have somebody new here tonight? It's O'Reilly Auto Parts night here on the Speed Demon Racing Network. We're glad to have you here for 3 races tonight. This will be the first 20 laps here, and then we'll have 40 laps at Chicagoland and 40 laps at Dover. We've got a great race for you. It's going to be Kendorian Davis and Vinny Maestas leading us down to the green flag. We're racing here at Daytona. Already seeing some aggression early on. I believe that was Austin Mitchell there in that number 1. We saw was trying to make some moves there on that 3rd line. Everyone following behind the number 21 of Kendorian Davis. Marty Schmela's going to jump up to the outside. A big block there thrown by Kendorian. I'll tell you what, the 70 might be left out dry here. He's going to be the lone car on that 3rd line going into turn number 3. They work their way around. A little bit of contact there between the 1, the 2. Oh, we got a crash in the back of the pack. I saw Chase Ingram in the 01 on his side. That's Patrick Connell, Isaac Cole. No caution as of yet, and we're still green. We'll have a large pack here. These guys racing. Schmela, Davis, Blair, Kenyon, your top 4. And then Daniel Mosseller has worked his way up to 5th. Top 5 are all Chevrolet bow ties. Seeing some aggression here from the 87 of Daniel Mosseller as he peeks his nose to the inside of Wyatt Blair. Blue wide right behind, that's Nolan Crane to double 0 on the outside of 3 wide. Marty Schmela continues to lead as there's contact there with Kendorian Davis, and what a save from the 1. Looking for the nose of that number 1, HendrickCars.com Chevrolet. There's Brian Post in the 64 trying to get his first career win here in Rebel Valley. And contact with Daniel Mosseller. What a great save. And Maestas is around the 70. Into the fence he goes. Going to collect Josh Kenyon as well. Everyone's scattering behind. No caution as of yet. And they're staying green. But it's Schmela, David Hamrick, and there's the caution. Caution flag is out for the first time tonight here on lap number 3. Marty Schmela will lead the field down here under caution. We had 2 separate wrecks right there. We saw one with the 01 of Chase Ingram going up on his side. We'll have to take a look at that one first. And then the wreck with Daniel Mosseller and Josh Kenyon were the 2 primary drivers involved in that one. All right, let's go back to lap number 1 and see what happened to Chase Ingram. There's Chase, the number 01 McDonald Chevrolet. Let's watch him here. The driver just came down and wow, just got airlifted right there by the 28. I believe that was Isaac Cole. You saw he brought that car to pit road, and now we got to see what happened here with Daniel Mosseller in the number 87. Go back to the timestamp. There's the 70 of Maestas. And back this up. That was Shearer there that came up and got into the 70, and it was just on from there. Take a look one more time. You see the 87 got into the fence. Oh, the 80. Cameron Face actually gets into Shearer, which then collects him into the 70 of Maestas. You see the 70 just corrects the car and right into the path of Josh Kenyon. Nowhere for the driver, the number 1 to go. That's why we're under caution. As the field continues to pace around the racetrack, a lot of cars out of this race now after the carnage that happened. So far, we've got Josh Kenyon, Daniel Mosteller, Logan Bolt, Chase Ingram, Luke Gallagher, and Diego Acuna currently on pit road right now, repairing some damage. So we are 1 to green this time by. We have 23 cars on the racetrack, all the way back to the number 57 of Nathan McLaughlin, who is back in 23rd. A couple newcomers in the series having some great runs here so far. We got Cody Wally. Got a 293 iRating, but right there in the 4th position, doing a nice job in that number 51 machine. We also got Austin Sale, or Saley. We'll just say Sale for now. That number 31, running in 6th, and you have Grant Fentress having a nice run as well. That number 20. Apologize for the box level camera work right there. You're getting ready to go green this time. All right, so it's going to be Marty Schmela and David Hamrick bringing us back down to the green flag here. Here we go for the restart here on lap 6. Back underway here from Daytona. Great jump on that inside line by the number 8 of Marty Schmela. Now the 200cars.com scheme's trying to work together here. That's Brian Post at 64, trying to get his first career win here in Rebel Valley as he's worked his way up to 2nd place. Contact with the number 3 of Derek Scodell as he got into the number 51 of Cody Wally. Field works their way around the backstretch this time. A lot of movement going around the midfield there. That was Cameron Face you saw in the 80. And we talked about the 35 of Liam Garrison. Almost a commentator's curse right there as he just about turned to 31 of Austin Sale. At the line, with 14 to go, it's going to be Marty Schmela here out front. Single file line all the way back to Nolan Crane there in the 00. Side by side there with Wyatt Blair and Cameron Face. Harrison's going to peek his nose in behind the 80 of Jaden Hall. Is going to do the same thing. That leaves the number 80 of Cameron Face out to dry. First 13 cars are single file here. This is Josh Kenyon and Daniel Mosteller trying to recover from their crash on lap number 4. Along with Nathan McLaughlin there in the 57. All in a line together here. Oh, we got a crash. That's Liam Garrison to 35. Larry Eddy is involved as well, along with Cameron Face. Aaron May also in the number 76 tonight, sliding through the infield grass. Crash happened toward the back, so no caution as of yet, and they stay green. Top 7 cars have established a gap here, all the way back to Wyatt Blair in the number 5. We got to move here on the outside. That's Jordan Herring in the number 72. Maryland driver. Haven't seen him in quite some time. And here he is on the outside of Jaden Hall, the number 8. Wyatt Blair trying to make some moves there, the number 5 as well. These 10 cars have pulled away here from the rest of the pack. Next time by, it's going to be 12 to go here for Marty Schmela. He's been the dominant car here so far. He's led 8 laps here in this race. See, Brian Post continues to work that back bumper. One car on that outside line. That's Grant Fentress, the number 20. Trying to make some moves there on that middle line. Not going to work out for him. So he continues to fight side by side here with the number 5 of Wyatt Blair. If your driver's here in the back of the pack, you're definitely going to hope for yellow here at some point. What do you do if you're somebody like Brian Post or Kendorian Davis trying to get a win here? As patient as they can, right behind the number 8 of Marty Schmela. I'm going to keep my eye right here on the number 1 of Josh Kenyon. He was involved in that last crash. He's been working here with the 87 of Daniel Mossimo trying to get back into this pack. They see they're going to get clear ahead of the number 8 of Jaden Hall. This pack right here, and then you've got the 128 of Ronald Shearer by himself, along with Austin Mitchell. And Nathan McLaughlin, Brandon Mefford, and Daniel Lank are a 3-car pack as well, but Jordan Herring is now going to work his way to the outside. Lap traffic ahead of these leaders. That's the 01 of Chase Ingram, who was involved in the lap 2 crash. Well, the outside line starting to form up here a little bit with Jordan Herring. That's Fentress there in the 20. Trying to make some moves. That's Wyatt Blair as well, the number 5. Well, number 3 just blinked out there. That was Derek Skladell. We'll see if the 32 works with the 72 here of Jordan Herring. I believe these two are teammates. And now the 64 of Brian Post peeked his nose out there in the number 64. And contact there between Hamrick and Kendorian Davis. Bad move there from the 32. Look at all the momentum lost for David Hamrick. He might drop to the tail end of this pack. He drops back down to 9th place. We have 9 laps to go here from Daytona. Marty Schmela has led most of this race. Look at the gearbox of that number 8 machine. Brian Post just trying to time his move correctly here. Ronald Shearer in that number 128 has just crashed, and he's brought it to pit roads. I'll tell you what, I'm going to keep my eye as we take a look here for second place. That's Jordan Herring on that outside line, finally getting some head of steam, and Marty Schmela plays defense. Jordan Herring started all the way back in the 31st starting position, and here he is, and he might take it 3 wide. Contact there with the 8 of Marty Schmela. I'll tell you what, these guys continue to battle. Keep your eye on this 5-car pack right behind with Kenyon, Losteller, Hall, Wally, and Sale. They're going to be right in. This is now they are 2 by 2 up here up front. Five rows of 2 as this time by 7 laps to go here for Marty Schmela. Right on board here with Jordan Herring in the number 72. He was the driver that we saw on that outside line trying to get it going. See if he can work the side draft here on the number 64, Brian Post. That outside line's a little disjointed right now as here comes Josh King in that number 1, a huge head of steam. This 5-car pack is now caught up to the lead pack. Next time by, it'll be 6 laps of racing to go here from Marty Schmela. And if your drivers like Nathan McLaughlin, Austin Mitchell, Daniel Lank, Brandon Mefford, caution right now would be a huge chance to boost your finishing position here. Guys are duking it out here up front as they're 3 wide with Hamrick. White Blair's well at number 5. Going below the double yellow line now, that's the 32 of David Hamrick. That car seems a little unstable right now. Falls back in line here. Top 5 cars are single file here to Grant Fentress. And Marty Schmela, wow, what a save right there by Schmela. Cars going all over the place as we have 5 laps to go here at Daytona. And around goes Kendorian Davis. And that's a big crash as well. Caution on the racetrack. There's Derek Slidell in the 3. And a heavy hit for Nolan Crane in the 00. Caution flag is out for just the second time tonight here on lap number 16. That kind of all started at the entrance of pit road with Marty Schmela and Brian Post, and it just escalated into the entrance of turn number 1, and a heavy hit there for the driver of the 00 of Nolan Crane. All right, let's take a look at what happened to bring out the yellow. We're going to back this up away here. This all started right here. A bump there from the 64 of Brian Post. Saw the 1 of Kendorian Davis just trying to avoid. And it all kind of started right here with... yeah, there's the hit right there from Derek Slidell into Kendorian Davis. Wow, what a hit right there for the 00 of Nolan Crane. As you saw, the 72 looked like it was trying to come back up the racetrack, but a vicious hit there for the 00. So an accordion effect up front causes our second caution tonight. So a big break for drivers that were at the tail end of the pack that lost the draft. So they're going to catch back up and into this thing. If anybody towards the back of the pack comes down pit road to put on a fresh set of tires. These drivers are allowed 1 set of Goodyear Eagles into the pits. We'll see who takes advantage of it. Marty Schmela out front here on lap number 17. He's led 16 of our 17 laps here tonight. He's been in complete control for MC Motorsports, trying to go back-to-back here on the super speedways. Brian Post has had a great run all night long in this number 64. Probably one of his best showings ever here in Rebel Valley. He's trying to cap it off here with his first career win. Grant Fentress, a newcomer here in Rebel Valley, has run solid tonight as well, as he's currently in the 3rd position. Daniel Bosteller has worked his way up to 4th. And then you've got Josh Kenyon rounding out our top 5. Jordan Herring there in 6th. David Hamrick 7th. The 01 of Chase Ingram getting his lap back on the outside line. Drivers who are lap down or multiple laps down are allowed to get their laps back on the outside of the racetrack. And Cody Wally as well in 9th. And Wyatt Blair rounds out our top 10. And you've got Nathan McLaughlin in the number 57 running in 11th. Austin Mitchell in 12th. Daniel Lank in 13th. The Cletus McFarland scheme. Aaron May running the number 76 tonight, running in 14th, and Arnold Farmer. I swear it looks like Arnold Palmer to me, but he's running in 15th. Bradley Schmela, sitting right there, the number 83. He's running in the 16th position. And Derek Slidell, who caused the wreck there with Kendorian Davis, runs in 17th. Brandon Meffert in 18th. Cameron Face on pit road, currently 19th. And then Jaden Hall in 20th place. Babins are going to let this caution ride here. We continue to wait. We'll remind you of race number 2, which is coming up next after the conclusion here at Daytona. It's going to be a 40-lap race around the Chicagoland Speedway. Same rules applies. 1 set of tires in the pits, 0 fast repairs. And we'll head over to race number 3 for our final race of the night at the Dover International Speedway. So this will be a green-white checkered for these drivers. So it's going to be 2 laps, and it's going to be green no matter what. This will be the lone attempt at a green-white checkered. Red Bull Valley had its largest race in its community, and it was the Asphalt 500 back on January 30th. The driver that won this race, Zayden Cortines, is not here. It had some notable names that ran that race, including Jordan Herring, Daniel Mosteller, Austin Mitchell, Aaron May, Derek Slidell, Chase Ingram. Just some of the notables that have run here in this race. And Daytona has produced some fantastic finishes here in Rebel Valley, and we'll see if it can continue that trend here for the final 2 laps at Daytona. You take a look at the number of cars currently have out as a status. It's been an attrition-filled race, that's for sure. Only our 2nd caution of the night. We've had a couple incidents that our admins have let it ride, and want to get some green flag racing in, and we'll see what happens here coming into our final 2 laps, which will be a green-white checker. Marty Shmela for MC Motorsports has been the dominant man tonight after starting from that 3rd position. Can he cap it off with a dominant win here at Daytona? Lights are off on the pace cars. The field works their way into turn number 3. Start at turn 4 this time by. 19 cars are ready to roll. Who is going to see the checkered flag? Marty Shmela and Brian Post will lead us back down to the green. And we're back underway here from Daytona. Great jump by the number 8 of Marty Shmela. You take a look at it. We got a couple cars trying to form that 3rd line there on the outside. That's Aaron May, the number 76. They continue to scatter like ants right behind. You have the number 5 of Wyatt Blair, who's now going to work his way to the outside. The field continues to sort this out. Marty Shmela now trying to throw as many blocks as he can. That's Daniel Mosteller right behind the 87. Josh Kane and Daniel Mosteller worked really well to work their way back toward the front. We'll see if that trend continues. And another block there thrown by the 8. We'll see if the outside line has an advantage. We've got some little bit of carnage right there in the back. Daniel Mosteller trying to go to lead as we see the 1 crash. White flag this time by Mosteller to the outside. And no help on that inside line from Marty Shmela. Here comes the 31 of Austin Sale. Aaron Mays at the fence. And they wreck behind with Nathan McLaughlin. 6 cars have a chance to win this race. Daniel Mosteller out front. Chance to slip it away here for the 8 of Marty Shmela. And Josh Kane generate a big enough run to work his way to the front. A crash here with Sale and David Hamrick. Great block there thrown by the 87 of Daniel Mosteller. As it's going to be a 6-horse race to the finish. Blair and Post are side by side as they head into turn number 4. Coming to the tri-oval. Daniel Mosteller is going to come across the line, and he wins here at Daytona. Daniel Mosteller, the number 87, is going to get it done. He goes from 4th on the final restart, and he gets his victory here tonight at Daytona. No, Daniel, I don't know what city you live in, but what a win there for the number 87. High velocity TV on the hood and on the side of that number 87 machine, and he's going to put it into the victory lane tonight for race number 1 in Daytona. Take a look at the finishing results here on the left-hand side of your screen. Let's see if we can get Daniel Mosteller in for an interview and get his thoughts on this race. All right, Daniel Mosteller, this is Ryan Wayne to the booth. You got a copy?
Hello.
All right, Demos, you're able to pull it off tonight. We saw you and Josh Kenny worked really well together there in the second stint of the race. You're able to position yourself in the right spot and hold off conveniently Josh Kenny there at the end. Talk to us about your race and how you're able to pull away for the win tonight.
Yeah, I appreciate him for working with me. Definitely not possible without him. That first yellow we had, I got a lot of significant damage, and luckily enough, since he was behind me, he checked up for me, and even though I got the wall, had a decent amount of damage, obviously him checking up, saved my race basically, and we avoided the mini wreck in that second run of the race, and we worked together to get back up to the main pack, and from there it was kind of just staying with each other. Having a buddy in these races is very important. And a lot of the newer guys will know that. If you have a friend to work with, does wonders, especially here at Daytona. So, we got up to the field, through the field. He let me in on the last restart because he himself had a kind of a bad restart, and the guy in front of me had a not so good restart. And from there, we just went by Marty. It was 2-on-1. Can't lose a 2-on-1 there. And from there, I think it was kind of easy. I don't think there was really any runs. And then he tried to back up turn 3 and 4, but I think he had some damage along with me, but pretty easy. One of the more tame super speedway wins I've had on this game.
Well, you were able to pull it off and get another win here in Rebel Valley, continuing to add the 2 wins to that win total. Does everyone want to give a shout out tonight before we transition over to race number 2 at Chicagoland?
Yeah, you guys for broadcasting, obviously. I appreciate it a lot. The admins keeping everything in check. Everyone for racing. A lot of fun, obviously. Again, thanks, Josh. Look forward to the other races tonight.
All right, Daniel Mosteller, that's you here from the race winner. And we'll go ahead and transition here to race number 2. And we'll see if Mosteller can pull it off again. So we'll go ahead and close this session out. And we'll transition here to race number 2. It'll be 40 laps around the Chicagoland Speedway. It's going to be about 5-10 minutes to get the session set up. I'll be right back. All right, welcome to our second race tonight, and it's going to be at the Chicagoland Speedway. You take a look at right now. This is Jacob Malone, did not run race number 1. He's currently the fastest here on the speed charts. This is only a 10-minute practice here for these drivers to fine-tune and get everything they can out of their equipment here before we move into qualifying and the race. With the number 45, Jacob Malone on the racetrack, still the fastest right now. Daniel Mostello second. There's the Logistics Chevrolet. That's Derek Skladell. P3. Cameron Face, along with the number 517. That's Jonathan Green. One of the lone drivers here in this series that runs a triple-digit number. Put it to good use right now on track. There's Diego Acuna, another high-velocity TV scheme on track. Indeed, number 84. Welcome Austin Saley, who ran in the Daytona race, along with Shane Tackett. Cody Wally is here as well. The drivers here currently on track. Let's see if we can head over to our interviews channel right now. Let's pick some thoughts here on a couple of drivers. If they are on track right now, we got Nolan Crane and Wyatt Blair currently in the interview room. I don't see any of them on track at the moment, but let's go ahead and head over there now. All right, Nolan Crane or Wyatt Blair, you got a copy?
Yes.
All right, Wyatt, I do want to ask you, you had a very solid result here in race number 1. What is your goal here going into race number 2 here at Chicagoland?
Yeah, honestly, my goal here is just finish the race, don't get a DNF. As you know, there are no fast repairs, so that 100% increases the risk. We saw some major crashes at Daytona, and it took a lot to manage to even get to the end there. So just hoping that here we can get close to the same result. I've never been too good at Chicagoland, so hopefully today will be a good time to learn and improve on my skill here.
Absolutely. This is a very interesting racetrack as well. Probably one of the tougher mile-and-a-halves on the sim, and definitely a good track to get practice on. Best of luck tonight, and we'll see what happens.
Thank you.
All right, and that is Wyatt Blair. Nolan Crane, do you have a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, you had a vicious wreck here to cause our second caution at Daytona. I know you're going to look for revenge here, running here in race number 2. How is your car feeling right now? You're currently P11 here in practice.
Yeah, it's a little tight. I think I have to make some adjustments to my wheel force feedback. I think I'm not turning it, or I'm turning it too much to where it's plowing center corner. But other than that, I've always liked Chicagoland with these cars. I'm hoping I can make it up front, qualify good. I wouldn't want to really get stuck in the back because that's probably not going to end up well. Normally it doesn't end up well. So I just got to hope that I can turn whatever a 12th place as of now, if I were to now 13th starter circuit and qualifying, turn that into a top 10, maybe top 5.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out as we're closing in here on the end of practice. Nolan and Wyatt, best of luck here to your races tonight. We'll see what happens.
Thank you.
All right, and that is Nolan Crane and Wyatt Blair that you heard from currently in the interview room. Trying to get some insight of kind of what to expect here around this mile-and-a-half racetrack nestled in Chicago, Illinois. Or excuse me, Juliet, Illinois. Closing in here on the final minute of practice, Jacob Malone, Aaron May, and Nathan McLaughlin are currently at the podium here. As Daniel Mostello is in 4th. And you've got Shane Tackett in 5th. Derek Skladell 6th. Austin Mitchell 7th. Marty Schmela 8th. Jaden Hall 9th. And then Cameron Face rounds out our top 10. You see contact there from Kenyon into Wyatt Blair. Got a great turnout here for race number 1 and very good turnout here for race number 2. Approximately 30 cars here on track. All right, Jacob Malone was the fastest car here in practice, and we're going to move into qualifying now. Just a 5-minute qualifying session for these drivers, and put the fastest lap down possible. Take a look at Austin Mitchell here in the number 1. Have Nathan McLaughlin, number 57. Driver that normally runs particularly well with these O'Reilly cars. So keep your eye on this 57 today. It's kind of a sleeper to win here tonight. There's Diego Cunha. We mentioned him at the start of the broadcast, the number 84. We also have Luke Gallagher there, the 00. Let's ride on board here with this number 1. Just kind of get a view of what to expect around Chicagoland. Goes to P6 at a 31.75. Jacob Malone, fastest in practice. He's going to back it up with the fastest in qualifying here so far. Just barely over the number 21 of Michael Good. Cameron Face right there, number 80, who's up to 4th. 18 drivers have posted a time here so far. There's Josh Kenny there in the 27. Great first lap for Jason Corsi in that number 32. Running the Alu Chevrolet. And Chase Ingram has worked his way up to P5 with a 31.68. So great lap there for the McDonald Chevy. Talked to Nolan Crane at the start of practice, and here he is in 17th. Daniel Mosteller works his way up to 2nd after a great lap number 1. See if he can pick it up here for lap number 2. Also, Aaron May with a great lap in that number 76, a different number for him this week. Go back to the 87 of Daniel Mosteller. We'll see where this puts the high velocity TV Chevrolet. He's not going to pick it up. He's going to be P2. Here's Aaron May in the 76. 31.58. So a great lap there for the number 76 of Aaron May. Trying to tribute to his grandfather. At number 76. Typically see him in the number 10, but E3 for the driver of the 76 machine. Have Derek Shaver on track, the number 30, the DHL Chevrolet. at the stripe. We'll see if Shaver can pick it up from a 31.71. Goes down to a 31.81, so a tenth slower compared to that first lap, and he will be starting in P9. The only other driver on track is Bill Prisco, and he's just going to have time here for one lap, maybe. At number 26, Quaker State Toyota. .32 flat, so that'll put him in 25th. That's going to be the end of qualifying here from Chicagoland. And Jacob Malone backs up his fast time in practice with a fast time here in qualifying. And he will be starting on pole here at Chicagoland. Let's take a look at our starting grid here tonight. We have Jacob Malone and Daniel Mostello, the Daytona winner, on the front row. Row number 2, we have Aaron May and Michael Good. Row 3, Nathan McLaughlin and Cameron Face. Row number 4, you have Chase Ingram in the 01 and Diego Acuna in the number 84. Derek Shaver and Shane Tackett will round out our top 10. Jim Planey, first time we've had him back in quite some time, at 34. He's going to be 11th. Jason Corsi in 12th. There's Jordan Jung in 13th with Austin Mitchell in 14th. Dayton Hall, Josh Kenyon, row 8. Luke Gallagher and Tristan Perrine will be row number 9. And then Jonathan Green and Derek Skladell will round out our top 20 here at Chicagoland. So take a look at the rest of the starting grid here for tonight's race. .33 drivers on track here for race number, well, 32 drivers, excuse me, on track here for race number 1 here at Chicago, race number 2 at Chicagoland. Let mess up my part, so I do apologize about that, but it's now rolling down onto the track. Got one car stopped there on the outside line. They'll have to rejoin, but we'll take a look at our race analysis here at Chicagoland. So 40 laps, one set of tires in the pits, 0 fast repairs to these drivers. Wyatt Blair mentioned you got to be very careful tonight. Try not to burn up your stuff and keep this car in one piece. Upper 1.5 miles here on the sim. Let's see how these drivers will navigate around the racetrack. Also take a look at our weather here. 82 degrees, partly cloudy skies, 45% humidity. Probably one of the more fun stock cars on the game. These drivers are going to be slipping and sliding around, and tire management is going to be the name of the game here at this 1.5-mile racetrack. So it's going to be Jacob Malone and Daniel Mostello who will lead us down to the green flag. You've got Aaron May and Michael Good right behind, Nathan McLaughlin, Cameron Face. It should be a great race here in race number 2. The starter has the green flag in hand. And race number 2 is underway. As the field's scattering right behind, top 3 are clear. One car that got loose, that was the 30 of Derek Shaver. Did a nice job corralling that number 30 DHL Chevrolet. We head back here to the battle up front. It's going to be Jacob Malone in the lead. Side by side here for 3rd place. That's Nathan McLaughlin, the 57. And it's up to 76 of Aaron May. Just got loose, and he gets into Michael Good. Around goes the 21 of Michael Good. We also got a couple cars going around. Marty Schmela, that's the 19 of Austin Sale. No caution, and we're staying green. Biggest loser on that restart was that 76 of Aaron May. He's dropped all the way back to the 17th position as he continues to hemorrhage spots. Top two are staying the same at the moment. Side by side here for position. This is Austin Mitchell and Josh Kenyon. They continue to lean on each other here. Great racing early on here on lap 3. There's Jaden Hall, the number 8. He's going to dive it in on the number 34 of Jim Planey. So how about the number 3 of Derek Squidell trying to peek his nose in. Ellen Crane up to 13th as well. Jacob Malone out front. At about a 0.2 of a second gap over Daniel Mosteller. Nathan McLaughlin staying there in third. Now here's the battle for fourth between Chase Ingram and the number 80 of Cameron Face. So the 76 of Aaron May coming on the pit road here. Looks like he had a little bit of trouble there back in the back of the pack. Continue to fight for third place here. Now Austin Mitchell, that number 1, trying to go 3 wide here, going to 3. 3 wide here for fourth place. Saw the 80 got a little bit tight there in the middle. The 1's going to slide up. Man, that was so close to a crash right there. And that just opened the door for the guys behind us. Jordan Jung there in the Sport Clips Toyota. 3 wide on that outside line. Now we're 4 wide going into turn 1. And these guys keep it together. Looks like they will. Awesome job from these drivers here from 4th to 10th place. There's a battle here with Luke Gallagher in the number 00, fighting with Tristan Perrine for 16th place. I do want to keep this battle on the mid-pack, but we got a battle for the lead. Daniel Mosteller to the inside of Jacob Malone. And Daniel Mosteller is going to go to the point here. Gets around the number 45 of Jacob Malone. We'll see what happens here with the 57 of Nathan McLaughlin as he follows in the tire tracks behind the 45 and the 87. Now Malone's going to work his way to the inside. Giving it everything they got. You saw the 87 got on the fence on the backstretch. And now the 45. Can he get clear of the 87? Not quite. They're side by side here for the lead going into turn number 1. Well, these guys are having a heck of a battle as you take a look at the backstretch cam. Fantastic battles all over the racetrack. And Jacob Malone of the 45 is finally going to get clear of Daniel Mosteller. He goes to the lead, but Mosteller trying to fight back. On board here. Oh, that might have been some contact with the 45 and the 87. Here comes Nathan McLaughlin here on the bottom. And not get that run off the corner. He's going to stay back in third. About Austin Mitchell and Chase Ingram fighting side by side here for fourth place. A little bit of door-to-door action behind with the 30 and the 20 with Derek Shaver and Jordan Jung. We got to keep on this battle for the lead. Jacob Malone now going to switch up his tactic. He's going to go to the outside line, try to get past the 87 of Daniel Mosteller. Outside line with some momentum here. Here comes Jacob Malone on the outside as they go into turn 3. now going to lead this race. Nathan McLaughlin is just kind of like the that popcorn meme, just waiting to see what happens. Just lurking in the shadows behind these two, watching them burn up their stuff. Great battle up front. Malone gets clear. Now, take a look at this 4-car battle right here. This is chasing into the 01, the number 1 of Austin Mitchell, the 80 of Cameron Face, and the 78 of Shane Tech. These guys fighting as hard as they can here. The one of Chase Singleton, a nice job holding on to his 4th position. For how long is going to be the question. Shaver, there's Nolan Crane. And playing there in 11th. Wow, look at this battle right here. You got Derek Skladell, Luke Gallagher, Jason Corsi in the 32, and the number 30, Tristan Peru. This is all a battle right here for 13th place. Is that right? 13th place. A lot of drivers getting tight at the exit of the turns. Definitely going to burn up that right front tire if you do that. And you see the 87 trying him out of charge back on the number 45 of Jacob Malone. When these leaders cross the stripe, let's take a look at the last lap times. Fastest car on track right now is the number 57, Nathan McLaughlin, the only driver running in that 32-second bracket. Definitely making up some time as we get on this long green flag run. Cameron Face is trying to get clear of the number 01 of Chase Ingram. This is just a fantastic race. You see up front, Daniel Mosteller back to the point. We've had 15 green flag laps here so far here at Chicagoland. They're still side by side here for the lead. A bit of wall contact there for the 45 of Jacob Malone. We'll see if he can pinch the door down to the number 87 of Daniel Mosteller. Mosteller has not been able to get clear of this number 45 of Jacob Malone. While these guys continue to battle out, they have extended their gap to a 2.4 second lead over Cameron Face. And look at these Gaggle cars, 4th through 10th, all in this one camera shot here on the racetrack. The 01 of Chase Ingram starting to fall back a little bit here on this green flag run. There's 16 laps into these tires. And now how about 3 wide for the lead? Nathan McLaughlin, 3 wide here with Malone and Daniel Mosteller. 3 wide here in turn 1. These 3 have put on a show out front. You see Cameron Face is closing that gap a little bit. It was at 2.4, now down to 1.9. These guys continue to fight for position here. This is basically anyone's race at this point. Coming to 22 to go next time. Still side by side here for lead, Mosteller and Malone. Now Malone trying to put some dirty air on that number 87. I like what the 57 of Nathan McLaughlin just did. Got a huge run on that outside line, try to get as much momentum as he can. And we'll see if that's going to propel him around the number 87 of Daniel Mosteller. You also have a battle for 4th place. This is Austin Mitchell and Cameron Face side by side here for 4th. Need to mind the gap here up front. Still Jacob Malone here with 21 to go. A lot of drivers try to stay at the bottom here in turn 3, and then most of the field running up toward that outside line in turns 1 and 2. 87, just trying to get a run here on the 45 of Jacob Malone. It's kind of crazy. These three have been in a heated battle pretty much all race, and they're still the three fastest cars on the racetrack. Well, outside of the number 78 of Shane Tackett, which ran a really good lap there, that number 78 machine. He's to the inside here of Derek Shaver for position. And Owen Crane right there in 9th. And Jordan Jung rounds out our top 10. Our biggest mover so far is the number 70 of Vinny Maestas. He was the outside pole sitter at Daytona. Here he is to the inside. That's of Jason Corsi, who's lost 5 spots here. All this battling through the field, and now here's Daniel Mosteller to the inside. Jacob Malone going to try once again to get around this number 45. He's been desperately trying to get his way back toward the front of the field. Not going to get clear here going down the backstretch. Dives it down to the inside here. And he finally gets clear. Not anymore. Here comes the 45 of Jacob Malone. What a fantastic race here up front between Jacob Malone and Daniel Mosteller. They're still side by side here down the backstretch. You see the 57 of Nathan McLaughlin's going to get clear. And Nathan McLaughlin moves into P2. So Nathan McLaughlin now just needs one more position to get a win here tonight. And ironically, these two were the two that fought at Mazda with IndyCar. Well, excuse me, Mazda's at Indy last week. Absolutely wild finish. Got a crash here. That's Daytona Cross. He is off the racetrack. We're going to stay green. Space in 4th. Mitchell 5th. Here's Tackett side by side with Chase Ingram. This is for P7. These guys continue to battle around the racetrack. Daniel Mosteller is opening up to about a 4/10 of a second lead. You take a look at the lap times last time by. Fastest car on the racetrack. They're in this long green flag run. 33.17. Next closest car is a 33.26, and that was set by the number 80 of Cameron Pace. There's the number 1 of Austin Mitchell. Contact there with Nolan Crane and Shane Tackett. Looks like those two had a little bit two different braking points. It's the 00 going to work to the outside of the number 78. Battle here for 8th place. Crane has done a nice job working his way through the field. Started back in 21st. And with that pass, that'll move him up 13 spots, which will be tied for the most spots gained here in this race, alongside the number 70 of Vinny Maestas. Been clean and green here so far. We have 13 laps to go. Daniel Mosteller has now extended his gap to 0.6 of a second over Nathan McLaughlin. Number 80 of Cameron Pace been putting down some good lap times as well, 33.28. Let's continue to fight. Now we've got Tackett and Crane still side by side. And the caution's out of the racetrack. And this changes everything. I think the number 10 went off the racetrack. We also saw the number 5 of Wyatt Blair may have jumped down pit road, but we are under yellow here on lap number 29. After a 29-lap green flag run, we are under yellow. All right, let's take a look at what happened to bring out the caution. It looks like the 5 of Wyatt Blair went off track. Look at the last timestamp. Oh yeah, he comes down right in 26 of Bill Prisco. They held it together. There's the 10. So 2 separate incidents. We saw that with the 5 and then the 10. Well, interesting call right there, and we're under yellow. So we're under caution here. Is now lap number 30. Have to take the whole field is going to be coming down pit road for tires. Tire fall off was just absolutely extreme there. I think we saw at least 2, like a second and a half of fall off with this within a span of 29 laps. So these drivers are coming down pit road and definitely going to use their one set of tires here. Under caution here on lap 31, and yeah, look at the whole field coming down pit road for tires. Those are much needed. There's going to be Mosteller, Malone second, McLaughlin, and then you've got the 1 of Austin Mitchell. Take a look at the rest of the field leaving pit road now. Interesting call for the number 32 of Jason Corsi. He had a 9.37 second pit stop, so it looks like 2 tires on that number 32 Ollie Chevrolet. Daniel Mosteller is out front here in this number 87. They're under caution here on the racetrack. There of Jordan Jung, and 76 of Aaron May getting his laps back. Pace car's got the 1 to go signal this time. We're going to go green here with 8 laps to go. We have 24 cars still on the racetrack. Back to Jim Planey, the number 34. He's our 24th and final car on the lead lap. Daniel Mosteller, Jacob Malone, Nathan McLaughlin, Austin Mitchell, Jason Corsi will be our top 5. Then you've got Cameron Face, Chase Ingram, Nolan Crane, Jordan Jung, Derek Schaefer round out our top 10 as we get ready to go back to green. Here we go for the final 8 laps here at Chicagoland. We're back underway. Great start by the number 87 of Daniel Mosteller. He gets the jump. And you see the 32 of Jason Corsi struggling on those 2 tires. All the way on the apron of the racetrack. Did a nice job saving that car, but look at all the valuable track position he's going to lose. And a crash. That's the 30. Tristan Perrine. That's Luke Gallagher, the 00. No caution as of yet, and they're staying green. Artie Schmela there with a big block on the number 78 of Shane Tackett. Daniel Mosteller out front by 0.2 of a second. Single file all the way back to the number 20 of Jordan Jung. Jaden Hall, I haven't talked much about him. He's worked his way into the top 10. have Shane Tackett there in the 78 as well. They fight side by side behind. 6 laps to go. The 57 of Nathan McLaughlin got into the fence. These drivers just give it everything they have. Slight gift wrapping here to Daniel Mosteller, and contact. Jacob Malone gets into Nathan McLaughlin, and he's going to put him in the fence. And they're still wrecking up ahead. That's Shane Tackett in the 78. And a huge hit with Brian Post. And the caution flag is out at the start-finish line. One car just arc-a-braked their way into the crash. I'm not sure who that was. But we're under caution again here on lap number 36. A huge hit right there. The 78 just got T-boned right at the start-finish line. The admins had to put out the caution for that. That was a vicious lick for the 78 of Shane Tackett. Take a look at the number 64. He is going to be done for the day. Let's take a look what happened. There's Shane Tackett there, the number 78. I'll start with Nathan McLaughlin here first, in the number 57. Yeah, you see the help there from the 45. And then here's the 78. The 8 of Jaden Hall just came up and got into him. And nowhere for Brian Post to go in that 64. One car just went absolutely full speed through that crash. I'm still trying to figure out who that was. That was the 28 of Anthony Hatfield. Wow, that was a vicious hit at the start-finish line. Nothing Brian Post could do. We're under caution here for the second time here on lap number 37. Now, a little bit of a fun moment that was not seen on camera at ARCA in Phoenix. Daniel Mosteller hit the pit entrance. I was reviewing a replay at that time, and we were kind of joking at the start of the broadcast. About how there was no pit entry or pit walls, excuse me, to potentially hit. Good little fake out there for the number 87 of Daniel Mosteller. Josh Ken said, if not a lot of people get Dover, could we do a different race? Yeah, I'm down to try a different race. I wanted to do Dover since it was a little bit different compared to other tracks that we've run. So if you've got a suggestion for the O'Reilly cars, just let me know, and I'll definitely take that into consideration. But right now, race number 3 is scheduled to be Dover at the moment. Aaron made the number 76 tonight, said, I hate this game. He was part of the collision there with the number 21 of Michael Good. And next time by, it'll be 2 to go. So this will be a green-white checker, just like the Daytona race from earlier. So the number 5 of Wyatt Blair is mowing the grass there in the tri-oval. Another car back there doing the same thing, but Daniel Mosteller out front, Cameron Face in second. Who have most recently won races here in Rebel Valley. Daniel Mosteller won race number 1 Daytona. Cameron Face won ARCA at Phoenix. Got Jordan Jung there in the mix, the number 20. Austin Mitchell. It's been a long time since we've seen him win in Rebel Valley. I know he's hungry to get a win in that number 1. Nolan Crane, who's done a nice job working his way through this field. He's up to 5th. And Jacob Malone has dropped all the way back to the 6th position after the contact with 57 Nathan McLaughlin. Derek Shaver and Jaden Hall. Haven't talked much about Marty Schmela tonight, but he's in the top 10, the 9th spot. And then Derek Swedell rounds out our top 10. All right, so it's going to be Daniel Mosteller and Cameron Face, two Chevrolets leading us back down to the green. This will be a green-white checker attempt. Only 2 laps remaining in the race. It's going to be all green no matter what. Here we go. For the green-white checker, we're back underway. That's the best start for that outside line. Cameron Face is going to be side by side with Daniel Mosteller going to the 1. They're also 3 wide behind us. Jacob Malone trying to go top shelf in that number 45. They're 3 wide here into the fence. That's the 45 of Jacob Malone. Does Cameron Face have an answer here for Daniel Mosteller? Next time by, it's going to be 1 lap of racing to go here from Chicagoland. Everyone trying to gain as many positions as they can, but Demos up by almost 0.2 of a second. Kyle Crane fighting here with it, or Nolan Crane fighting with a 45 of Jacob Malone. As Cameron Face is stuck in the fence. This is Demos' race to lose as Michael Good goes around for a second time here in this race. Daniel Mosteller up by 0.5 of a second as they continue to fight for third. Daniel Mosteller is going to go back-to-back here tonight. And Daniel Mosteller wins at Chicagoland. Two green-white checkers, 2 victories. Daniel Mosteller gets it done once again here at Chicagoland. He led 22 of our 41 laps, and he's able to get it done here once again in Rebel Valley Sim Club. Not sure what that was there from the 28 of Anthony Hatfield, but Daniel Mosteller was able to get ahead on that restart and held off a charge from Cameron Face to get the victory. Jordan Jung comes home 3rd, Jacob Malone 4th, and Nolan Crane rounds out our top 5. Derek Shaver, Austin Mitchell, Jaden Hall, Derek Squidell, and Marty Schmela will round out our top 10. And give a call to Jim Planey, who restarted 24th and worked his way up to 11th there at the end. As Daniel Mosteller comes away with the win, we'll go ahead and head over to the interviews channel and get his thoughts.
Lap got wrecked for 24.
Daniel Mosteller, this is Ryan Wayne in the booth. You got a copy.
Michael.
Daniel Mosteller,
Hello.
this is Ryan Wayne in the booth. You got a copy.
I do, yeah.
All right, you had a very spirited battle up front with Nathan McLaughlin and Jacob Malone. Looks like McLaughlin and Malone ended up getting into a little bit of a skirmish there right before the second caution came out. Well, I believe it was the second caution that came out. Talk to us about how you're able to hold off Cameron Face there at the end.
Yeah, I enjoyed the race. The dirty air was pretty bad. I felt like I was faster than Malone after about lap 5 in that first run there, and I was just kind of stuck behind him. Every time I would get to his inside, he'd put it on my door, make me so tight. And the second lane and the top didn't really come in, so it was a bottom-feeding race, I felt like. So it took a lot of, trial and error to get the lead. But I eventually got by him and then had that yellow. But clean air is just so important. And with the pace that I had, I knew as long as I could nail every restart, I would be fine. I thought I lost there at the end. Cameron had such a good restart. I think if he was able to pin it on my door there on the grandma checker, he probably would have won. But just it was a good race all around. I'm very happy with it.
All right, and yeah, that was a very spirited battle and definitely seemed like clean air was a thing, because once you got in that clean air, you just set sail and were able to pull away with a half a second victory over the number 80 of Cameron Face. What are your expectations here going to race number 3? We're going to try out Dover here, and I think this has been a long time since we tried Dover here with the O'Reilly cars, but what are your thoughts on that track, and what are your chances of sweeping the night tonight?
I've never felt like Dover has been one of my good tracks on the game, so I think it definitely will be a challenge. I feel like for myself, I think it'll open up the opportunity for some of the other drivers in here to possibly compete up towards the front around with me. So I think it'll be very fun. I'm excited to see how that race pans out.
All right, and that is going to be Daniel Mosteller. We'll see if he can go 3 for 3 tonight here in Rebel Valley Sim Club. All right, let's see if we can get a couple interviews in here. We've got, let's see, we've got Chase Ingram, Jaden Hall, L-Dog, got Michael Good. Let's see if we can talk to, let's start with Jaden Hall, who finished in P8. Jaden Hall, this is Ryan Wayne. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, it's been a long time since we've seen you here in Rebel Valley. It looks like your first time back. You might have made a little bit of enemies. Had some contact with Michael Good and I believe Shane Tackett as well. Talk to us about your first race back in quite some time.
Yeah, the contact was unfortunate. With Michael Good, I've watched replays a couple times, and it looks like it's just unfortunate netcode that put him into the wall. And then afterwards, I was trying to get out, out of his way for him to recover, but couldn't get out in time. So unfortunate for that. And then the contact with Tackett, I think it was, out of 4, I just thought he was going to be higher up on the exit, closer to the wall. That's my bad. I misjudged that. But I haven't been on iRacing, haven't raced any NASCAR, anything like that in months. So it was fun to come back and race.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you back here. I remember that your name that I remember popped up a lot in the Asphalt Media and Rebel Valley days, and good to have you back here on the channel. Will you be racing in race number 3 here to recap the night?
Probably not, because it's Dover. It's not a good track for me, and all my settings reset, so I'm still trying to find out, what to put everything at, so I don't want to go to a track I'm not good at and ruin other people's races more than I have.
All right, well, thank you for coming out tonight, and hopefully we'll see you in future races.
Thank you.
All right, and that's going to be Jaden Hall. We'll get some pre-race interviews from some other drivers here once we transition into race number 3 at Dover. This will be something a little bit different from what we normally run, so give me about 5 to 10 minutes to get race number 3 set up, and it's going to be 40 laps around Dover. See you guys soon. All right, welcome to race number 3, our final race of the night here on the Speed Demon Racing Network and Rebel Valley Sim Club action. Figure out what's going on with my display here. There we go. All right, so Austin Mitchell, currently the fastest driver here in practice. And right there at a 23.246. So we can head over here to our Discord, see if we can get some interviews here.
At least he knows that it's terrible.
All right, Luke Gallagher, you got a copy. This is Ryan with the booth. You got a copy.
I can hear you.
All right, I think this is my first time interviewing you here in Rebel Valley Sim Club. You had a decent race going at Chicagoland. You're running P8 right now here in practice. What do you think you can do here to try to get to the best finish possible here tonight at Dover?
Probably just stay out of the 100 crashes that are going to happen. I like Dover, though. It's one of my better tracks. I like concrete. So I am hoping to actually do okay for once.
Okay, well, we'll see what happens tonight, and best of luck to that beautiful number
Thanks.
00 Burger King scheme.
I'm glad you like it.
All right, that's going to be the 00 of Luke Gallagher, who's currently practicing on track right now. We also have Sebastian Perez in here. First time we've seen him race tonight. Sebastian Perez, this is Ryan Wayne booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right, first time you've run tonight. What are your expectations here going in at Dover?
Survive, pretty much. I don't really have any practice here right now. I'm trying to practice as much as I can, but yeah, to survive the crashes and to keep it consistent, and hopefully I'll finish somehow.
Well, you've also got a nice scheme out there, running that number 97 Red Bull Chevrolet. Looks like a SVG type of scheme. Best of luck out there tonight in that number 97.
Thank you.
All right, that's going to be Sebastian Perez. I've got time for one more interview here in pre-race before I head over to the booth. Chase Ingram, you got a copy?
Yeah.
All right, looks like you had a little bit of a run in at Chicagoland. You were running the top 10 most of the race. See if I can see you on the leaderboard right now, and that's 01. No, I don't see you on track right now. But what is your goal here tonight here for the final race?
Survive, basically. I feel like everybody's gonna spin or at least get loose to where they cause a wreck off of the corners because of the way the corner unloads, but we'll see how this goes. Hopefully I'll survive and not end up on my roof like I did in the first race.
Well, it sounds like there's one common theme here with all the drivers, and it's just survive. This is such a tricky 1 mile racetrack. Definitely one of the more difficult racetracks to get on to pit road, and should be a challenge here for the drivers that we have tonight. Best of luck, Chase, and everyone else.
Alright, thanks.
All right, we'll go ahead and get ready to start this race here soon. Practice is just about to finish up, so we've got 15 drivers that have posted a time here so far. We've got, I can do a count of 22 drivers currently in the session. David Mitchell was the fastest in that practice session, that number 82. Survive. That's just the name of the game. That seems to be the common theme these drivers have talked about. See who can post down the fastest lap. Again, this is not a track we typically run here in Rebel Valley Sim Club. Definitely one of the more challenging tracks with the banking and transition going into 1 and 2. It's an interesting racetrack for sure. One comparison I could think of is kind of like Bristol on steroids. See our pole sitter from Chicagoland. This is Jacob Malone. I know he's happy not to see the 57 of Nathan McLaughlin in here. Those two had some beef last race when they were fighting for position. Watch Jacob Malone's lap. 23.206. That is a heck of a lap on lap 1. Now, Jaden Hall is actually in here as well. Marty Schmela goes up to P2. Watch the number 45 of Jacob Malone. See if he can get... I did say that was a Jordan-themed paint scheme. I do apologize. That's not the sponsor on that number 45, so I misspoke there. And 23.22 to drive the number 45. Nolan Crane, P2. You got Derek Shaver, who's worked his way up to 3rd. Nice lap there from DHL Chevrolet. Marty Schmela. Curtis Mitchell in here. E5. Good lap there for the through number 316. We got Jonathan Green. You got another competitor there for triple-digit numbers, bud. There's Jordan Jung as well, the number 8. And he goes to the top of the chart. Great lap for Jordan Jung. 23.182. For the O'Reilly Auto Parts scheme tonight. Chase Ingram, who we talked to in practice. That lap's not going to count for him. Got Brian Post there in the number 64. 14 drivers have posted a time here so far. This is the slowest at the moment. Number 64 of Brian Post. Let's have Mateo Mitchell on track. He goes to P3. Osteller to P12. Anthony said, I would join the heartbeat, but I just don't have the track. Hey, that's unfortunate, but we will be racing again next week. Tell you on that. We'll release the schedule here probably Wednesday or so. And Mateo Mitchell goes to a 23.327. Daniel Mosteller. Kind of question his abilities to this racetrack. It doesn't matter. He goes to the top. 23.156. And that just leaves one driver left on the racetrack to post a time, and it's the Robbie Gordon singular wireless throwback of Skylar Comstock in the number 31. Aaron May is in the session, but he will be our off-track admin here tonight. Watch the number 31 of Skylar Comstock, one of the admins from the Asphalt 500. Yeah, we're trying to run once a week. That's kind of the goal. Typically on Thursdays, might move to Mondays depending on how my schedule works. But yeah, normally every Monday or Thursday we do races here for River Valley Sim Club. Comstock goes to P5 at 23.370. That should be the end of qualifying. Coming up here very soon. We continue to wait this out here. It's going to be Mosteller and Jung leading us down to the green. CM 2005 said, I don't think this is going to end very well. Hey, you never know what will happen. We had a great race at Chicagoland, and hopefully they'll turn out great here at Dover. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed, but never know. My 316 is definitely going to be in the garage. That is Curtis Mitchell there. Hey, don't doubt yourself, man. I think you can do it. You start in P9, just avoid the chaos. I think you've got a good chance. See, the car is sitting idle on pit road. Let's go ahead and show our starting lineup here tonight. So it's Daniel Mosteller and Jordan Jung that are going to be on our front row. Row 2, we've got Jacob Malone and Mateo Mitchell. Row 3, we have Skylar Comstock and Nolan Crane. Row 4, Derek Shaver, Marty Schmela. And rounding our top 5, we've got Curtis Mitchell and Sebastian Perez. Jaden Hall and Richard Lovelace round out row number 6. Row 7 is Luke Gallagher and Jonathan Green. Row 8, you've got Brian Post and Wyatt Blair. Row 9, Chase Ingram and Jair LaPlante. Vagisil scheme. And Brady Stiller and Aaron May, I believe, is in the tower tonight. And then you've got Austin Mitchell and Cameron Face. And that'll be the cars that'll be rounding out our field for our final race tonight. Take a look at a race analysis here at Dover. 40 laps, 1 set of tires here in the pits. Again, 0 fast repairs for these drivers to work with. So want to run this as clean as possible. We've had a really solid first 2 races tonight. We've had a combined total of 4 cautions, 2 at Daytona and then 2 at Chicagoland. Daniel Mosteller swept both races, and both races were in green-white checkered. See if the green-white checkered trend continues here tonight at Dover. A very slippery racetrack for these drivers to navigate around. Take a look at our weather as well. 72 degrees, cloudy skies out there, 59% humidity. A little bit of wind going toward the northeast direction. As the field gets ready to roll off pit road now for our final race of the night. We have 20 cars that are in this race for our final race. So we take a look at the 87 of Daniel Mosteller, who's out front. Look at all these drivers trying to get heat on their tires. Make sure they don't spin them and just lose control. Curtis Mitchell, we saw in the chat, that number 316 is one of the drivers we saw that was warming up his tires. Try to get everything he can out of him. Daniel Mosteller and Jordan Jung lead us down to the green flag for our 3rd and final race tonight. Welcome to you here on the Speed Demon Racing Network. Starter has the green flag in hand. And we're underway here at Dover. Crash in the back with Wyatt Blair, the number 5, but we're staying green. Oh, and a slip up there for the 87 of Daniel Mosteller. Jacob alone leads lap number 1, but here comes Jordan Jung in the 8. Running that O'Reilly Auto Parts scheme, designed by Ryan Williams, who is I believe he is a graphic designer for Junior Motorsports. Crash in the back, that's the 00 of Luke Gallagher as he put it in the fence. Single car crash, and we're staying green. But it's Jacob Malone out front. Top 4 single file. Battle right now is for 5th place. You've got Nolan Crane in the 00. You have Sebastian Perez in the 97 and Marty Schmela in the 8. Jordan Jung leads this field right now in this number 8 car. Down into turn number 3. Cars peeling onto pit road right now. Jordan Jung ran the fastest lap on the racetrack that last time by him, 23.522. Very close on lap times here for these drivers. Back off the gearbox, the number 8 of Jordan Jung. Oh, and sideways there for the 00 of Nolan Crane. Everyone trying to funnel down to that inside line, the top 8. We've got all under control here. Our biggest mover so far has been Austin Mitchell in this number 1. He started at the tail end of the field, and he's worked his way up into the 11th position. He's up 10 spots here from the start of this race. Jordan Jung leads here on lap number 7. Daniel Mosteller in the victory lane interview at Chicagoland kind of talked about the dirty air and how crazy it is. And once you got in clean air, it was such a huge advantage. And he's dealing with that dirty air right now, chilling with the number 45 of Jacob Malone. Got a battle now here for 7th place, as it looks like Cameron Face, the number 80, has crashed. He is on pit road. Heavy damage for that car. As Curtis Mitchell has worked his way up to 7th, as he gets his way around the number 8 of Marty Schmalen. Jonathan Green has also had damage there in the number 517. You see him smoking on the pit road, so his night's got to be done. And that's going to be Jordan Jung. He's going to lose the lead here to the number 45 of Jacob Malone. Top 4 only separated by about 0.4 of a second. They're about to approach the lap car up ahead. That is Richard Lovelace in the number 16. Heavy damage there for the number 97 of Sebastian Perez as he slapped that outside wall. They're catching the 16, a very precarious spot. That is a tough spot to catch a lap car. But they did a nice job avoiding that number 16 of Richard Lovelace. Top 4 continue to fight single file. Now here's the battle for 6th place. This is the number 316 of Curtis Mitchell. He's side by side. He's going to get clear of Sebastian Perez to move into P6. Ayla in 8th. And you've got Derek Shaver and Jaden Hall fighting for position here. This is for P number 9 as Hall gets into Shaver. And we've got a crash. It's Shaver and Hall. No caution. They were able to get it back together. That one was caught in real time. You saw the 8 got into the left rear quarter panel of the 30 and it caused a checkup with the number 31 of Skylar Comstock. Jacob Malone here out front in this race. The driver out of Tampa, Florida, and that number 45 machine. Trying to get a win here in Rebel Valley. And these front 4 have pulled away here from Nolan Crane. He's back behind by 1.7 seconds. Got a fight here for 2nd place. This is Jordan Jung side by side here. And here's the drivers side by side. Looks like Jaden Hall has just crashed. He is on pit road. Now we're down to 14 cars left on the racetrack. Jacob Malone out front here in this 45. A lot of drivers getting tight here in turn number 4. They have just been slapping the wall. There's Marty Schmalen, the 8. Haven't talked much about him other than the Daytona race, where he led the majority of the race. Ended up, I think, finishing 3rd in that number 8 machine. Let's go ahead and ride on board with one of our drivers. Let's ride on board here with Mateo Mitchell. Just get a feel around this racetrack. We see a lot of drivers right now lifting right at the exit of turn number 4. You can tell they're getting tight. Dave Mitchell is just starting to fall back here a little bit from that 4th starting position. Jacob Malone continues to lead here in this number 45. Take a look at timing and scoring the next time by. Pretty similar lap times. Oh, we've got contact right near the start-finish line. That was Curtis Mitchell in the 316 and Sebastian Perez in the 97. I thought we were going to see retaliation right there from the number 316 from Curtis Mitchell. don't think he was too happy with the way the 97 raced in there in turn number 4. As you see Austin Mitchell, his way around Curtis Mitchell. We have 3 different Mitchells here in this race. Austin gets around Curtis. Here comes a dive bomb here from the 01 of Chase Ingram. He gets around the number 316. It's been a valiant drive here for the number 1 of Austin Mitchell. He's side by side with the number 97 of Sebastian Perez. And now it's going to be... oh, this is not going to be good. 3 wide going into turn 1. I thought that was going to be our caution right there. The 01 of Chase Ingram just leaning all over the number 1 of Austin Mitchell. And add Skylar Comstock in 31 to the mix as well as he's joined this pack. Great battle here from 7th on back. I need to keep a camera on this. We got Austin Mitchell, Chase Ingram. Look at Skylar Comstock trying to make it 3 wide on the top. Oh my, oh, he's gonna wreck. Austin Mitchell's collected along with Sebastian Perez. I think we're gonna have to throw the caution for that one, guys. And there's the yellow. Looks like the yellow flag is out. Caution is out on the racetrack. Like my screen just froze. Let's take a look what happened. Sorry, I'm having some technical difficulties here with my stream. Let's see. Let's watch the number 31, Skylar Comstock. That was a great move on the outside. Yeah, just got into the 01. Huge collision right there. Sebastian Perez. There's Austin Mitchell, Chase Ingram. Ingram's night is done. A ballsy move from the 31, and it just did not pan out for him. And that's what caused the collision. All right, so the whole field is on pit road. Understandable, considering how these guys were faring. We had a great battle there for 7th place, and the caution came out. Curtis Mitchell said, Sebastian won the battle, I won the war. That's a interesting Martin Truex Jr. reference right there. As you see, the 45 wins the race off pit road. Ted Mitchell will gain a spot here ahead of Jordan John. A lot of the cars taken out after that wreck involving Skylar Comstock, Sebastian Perez, Chase Ingram, Austin Mitchell. That was an excellent battle there for 7th place, and it just all went awry. Somebody just blew an engine. Need to go back and see what happened there. Sorry about that. Curtis Mitchell there in the 316, just leaving the pits. And Skylar Comstock. We have 8 cars here in this lead pack. Got Austin Mitchell just coming back onto the racetrack. Saw him hit that inside wall right by the start-finish line. Got 11 cars left in this race. Chase Ingram and Sebastian Perez were the casualties in that incident at the start-finish line. 31 and the 316 are joining this pack. So, and also the number 16 of Richard Lovelace, who is 2 laps down. It'll be Jacob Malone and Daniel Mosteller who will lead us back down to the green. Malone has led 19 of our 26 laps here tonight. Jacob Malone and Daniel Mosteller will lead us back to the green. Watch out for wheel spin on these restarts too, because Dover is known for wheel spin. Green flag, and we're back underway. Malone with the jump as they're side by side here for P2. This is Mateo Mitchell in the Xbox Chevrolet. Ed Crane goes around the 0-0, hard to the inside wall. Single car crash, we're staying green. Now Jordan Jung and Mateo Mitchell there in the 82 leaning on each other for third place. Side by side here going into turn 3. Jordan Jung, we saw lead some laps early on in this race. Had a pit stop drop him back a spot. Now he's up to P3. And the battle of the Mitchells behind as well. That's Austin and Curtis. With Brian Post up to P8 there in the 64. Jacob Alone out front here on the number 45. At the stripe, it'll be 11 laps to go. Oh, and Austin Mitchell's in the fence, the number 1. Heavy damage on that Bass Pro Shop Chevrolet. He is going to park it off the racetrack, and we'll stay green. Gap right now about 1/10 of a second as Malone hit the fence. Daniel Mosteller right there in that number 87, trying to make a move here on Jacob Malone. Let's ride on board here with Mosteller. Oh, Malone was sideways. They're going to be side by side going into 1. Daniel Mosteller, can he get clear? Malone fighting back tough though on the outside line. What a surge from Jacob Malone. He had the mistake in turn 4 and was able to get clear of the 87 of Daniel Mosteller. He's going to have to fight hard here for 8 more laps if he wants to get this win. Think of the lap times last time by. Mateo Mitchell was the fastest car on the racetrack, but these top 5 cars are separated so close together. Also was the slowest of the top 5 at the moment, but here he goes diving to the inside, Jacob Malone. Side by side in turn number 3. Who's going to have the advantage at the start finish line? They're still neck and neck. Malone has the lead. It's tough to pass here at Dover. Malone has the preferred line on that outside line, and he's going to surge ahead of Daniel Mosteller. And now Mosteller under track here for the number 8 of Jordan Jung. The O'Reilly Auto Parts Chevrolet going to the outside here of Daniel Mosteller. Can he get clear here for second place? And Jung now goes up to second with 6 to go. As Daniel Mosteller burnt hump his stuff, trying to run that bottom line, trying to make the pass, and now he's dropped back to 4th place as Mateo Mitchell gets around him. Front 4 cars ahead by 1.8 seconds over Marty Schmela. It's 5 to go for Malone. Gap is about 0.2 of a second right now between Malone and Jung. Here's Mosteller fighting with Mateo Mitchell here for 3rd place. The Xbox Chevrolet trying to hold off the high velocity TV Chevrolet. Win turn number 3. Looks like Mitchell just let him have it. So Mosteller back up to 3rd. Marty Schmela has quietly had a solid race there in 5th. Derek Shaver has recovered nicely from the spin. He's up to 6th place. Curtis Mitchell in 7th. Brian Post 8th. Skylar Comstock 9th. Those are the 9 cars currently on the lead lap here with 4 to go. Jordan Jung trying to run down Jacob Malone, but next time by it's going to be 3 laps to go. Jordan Jung, if he can just get a little bit of a surge, I think he might have a chance here to bump and run. And as soon as I say that, he's going to hit the fence. 2 laps to go for Jacob Malone. Daniel Mosseller was the fastest car on the racetrack the last time by at 24.189, but he's not going to have enough time here unless these 2 leaders make a mistake. It's going to be the white flag here for Jacob Malone, the number 45. Jacob Malone up by 0.3 of a second over the number 8 of Jordan Jung. Been a solid race here from the 45 of Jacob Malone. Was able to hold off the charge of Daniel Mosteller, and he's going to go back to the victory lane for the first time in a long time. The driver from Tampa, Florida is going to win here at Dover. As you take a look at the field coming across the finish line, Jacob Malone goes to victory lane. He led 33 of our 40 laps tonight in a dominant performance. He's going to stop the sweep from Daniel Mosteller, and Jacob Malone goes to victory lane here in our final race of the night for the Rebel Valley Sim Club. Jacob Malone back to victory lane. Great performance there from the 45. An awesome burnout to recap the night as well here at the start-finish line. Look at the results here on the left-hand side of your screen. And there goes the engine. It just went kaput on somebody's car. Wow, look at Mateo Mitchell's car right there in the 82. He doesn't even have any wheels on that thing. But either way, Jacob Malone, what a great win for this number 45 car. And we'll have him in for an interview here shortly. And there the engine explodes. All right, Jacob Malone, this is Ryan Wayne in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, it's been a long time since we've seen you win here in the Rebel Valley Sim Club. A dominant performance, too, leading 33 of our 40 laps. Talk about how we're able to hold off the hard charge there from Jordan Jung and Daniel Mosteller.
Well, I had a little bit of damage on my right side, which hurt me arrow-wise, but I kind of just got lucky with abusing the high side and dumping dirty air. That was the whole strategy going into the last, I would say 10 or so laps, was don't give up the top.
Yeah, that seems to be a strategy here at Dover, typically. Dirty air is such a problem here at this racetrack, and if you can hold that outside line and save your tires, it seems to be the way to go, and you were able to perfect that today. And saw the 87 try to make a pass on you. He fell all the way back to fourth, just trying to make a move. Is there anybody we want to give a shout-out to here before we shut the stream off tonight?
My family, of course, they always support me, and, you know, they're always there for me, so I want to shout this one out to them.
Always good to shout out family. Family always comes first. And congratulations once again, Jacob Malone, and great races tonight.
Thank you, man. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too. All right, and that was Jacob Malone, our race winner here tonight at Dover. And that is our final race here on the Speed Demon Racing Network. Go ahead and head back to live session. But Jacob Malone was able to pull it out tonight. Congratulations to Daniel Mosteller on his wins. He was able to win at Daytona, Chicagoland, and then Jacob Malone was able to pull it off here in race number 3 here at Dover. I want to thank everyone for coming out here for O'Reilly Night here on the Speed Demon Racing Network. Be sure to stay tuned on the Discord. Discord link was posted in the chat. And also on the Speed Demon Racing post page for any future races. We're looking at doing races about once a week, either Monday or Thursday. Still trying to decide for next week. I'm leaning toward next Thursday, which should be May 7th for the next set of races. So thank you for coming out to tonight's races. Congratulations to Daniel Mosteller and Jacob Malone on your victories. And see you guys next time. This is Ryan.